Hello and welcome. Before using Polo.nx, I never even knew a chart like this existed. This is a market depth of the Bela chart as of now, well, that of 1945 UTC. And I've reshaped this to be a little bit easier to read. The numbers so hard that I've rewritten them in. In fact, I read this wrong. This is 4900. And I find this interesting that I want to go over this on just a video on itself. Now, what this is the amount of orders that are in at the approximate prices. So these are the short-term levels now. But what's amazing is how large these orders go up to just small amounts. 3,900 here is about only a loss of just like 7%. And that's a massive move just to get it to that. It doesn't take too big of a move to bring it here, or even in there, that's an okay size move. But it does tell me that sure, it could happen because there are people who have shares that are like, okay, I can scoop all this up now and only reduce the price to say 4,100 or 40 or whatever number that is. And that happens. But there's only so much of that can happen. And the market can only go down so much of this in the near term because of that. That's how I'm reading it. I'm a newbie, literally, when it comes to this kind of analysis. Continuing further on the upside, it takes very little to get to here. You can get to what would be about 44, 46 relatively easy. And to put it into comparison, the same cost that it would take to make the market go from 43 to like 41, 40, 50, or just a move of like 6% down would be the same as a move to like 5,000 and change. And that's a move of about 20% to the upside. So it doesn't take that much for it to move higher in that sense. So I think as the story has been playing within the chart, that it's probably going to make its move into that previous high and just maybe play and consolidate, test the areas last tested in the 5 to 7,000 range. At least that's how I think it's looking within this particular market depth. Now, as far as the chart is concerned, we have the daily chart, and within its movements, this high came on high volume, and then the volume settled in here, staying large, going of course to its lows of 26, and I figured there's probably two key areas, pretty much around the 3,000 mark, and again around 25, 26, and both of them turned out to be very much key levels indeed. So continuing further, amongst such, very low volume during this sideways consolidation, and then you have decent sized volume for this up move. And you follow with an okay size move here, but this pullback coming on lighter volume. I'm liking that fact alone, that I think on a break of this point, I already talked about this key Fibonacci point within this range, that it looks as if that this area could then be tested as its next new trading range, at least. Maybe it might not have the availability to break through this yet, and I hope it doesn't, but it could. But at least maybe test within here seems as if how the likely scenario is going to play. Definitely cautionary moves on breaks below here. But when I look at probability odds of what's likely versus like more or less likely, I think it's more likely that this thing is ready for a pop pretty soon. This weekend, even today, Monday, it seems as if it's ready to do such. And on strength, when you see the price action, in at around 5,000, that's when it's a better time to buy on strength, because then you can play for the upward part of the new range, which I would expect to be between 5 and 7,000, if it's going to even do that range, but at least the next move anyway. So as it's breaking here, it should make it to 7,000 in whatever form, either straight up or whatever form. Of course, I'm saying the same thing twice over. Anyway, take care.